Game number 643, By Your Side by Takafumi. You want to check it out, you can get it at takafumi.h.io. It's a visual novel, and I'm gonna play a little bit of it. Let's get right into it. The link to the game is in chat. Really pretty. I love this morning glow feeling. A day is fast approaching in which our take will turn to give. What does that mean? Our take will turn to give. Okay. Despite the hurt that stalks me so, I will continue to live. To send the sea to sunder from sky which frames us all. I'll call the day towards us, and then the world will fall. In snowfall I'll survive, my heart will filled with pride, and on that day I'll claim my place where I smile. The last one didn't seem to rhyme. Where I smile by your side. Oh, pride and side. Okay. It's because of the way it's framed. I didn't really understand that the title is actually part of the poem. Oh, voice acting. I don't have to read everything. That'll be useful. There are many humans in this world, and each one of them has a story. Their numbers are immeasurable, ever-changing, constantly. Through the trial of life till the end called death, these humans always seem to lose track of something very important, the humdrum nature of this world. But we shall not strive for drama, nor for tears or loss. For this moment, just for now, let us wish for an endless everyday, a peaceful life for us. Huh, it's a fairy. You know what this poem reminds me of? It reminds me of the opening poem in Kingdom Hearts. When I was young, my mother introduced me to something truly magical. At first it looked familiar. That big black box adorned with dials could only be a television, but upon being activated, the picture within the box came to life in a way no one had seen before. Color. Somehow humans had figured out how to capture the world and replay it in all its beauty. From the sound to the motion to the color. It was almost storybook invention, something that would fill a child's heart with wonder. And wonder I did. On one birthday, my 11th I believe, my father gave me that same magical technology, a camera. It lived dangling from my neck whenever suitable. For years I took photos. A short exploration would be followed by a snap. Soon I was waiting to see the resulting image. Many people carried a camera at that time, but none had the same love as me. None had the magical element, color. At the time, it was something only I could do. Oh, pretty. Look at this scenery. Then one fateful day, I found an image only I could take. Upon a flower sat a beautiful creature. It was a sight so rare, people had begun to question whether it even existed at all. Red hair, dark skin, wings that shimmered in the sunlight. A fairy. It struggled in the glowing summer heat. Year by year, the seasons seemed to get hotter. And out here, far in the countryside, there were no established conveniences for fairies. I could only question why a fairy came to this part of the world. I looked to my burlap satchel, a container that stored many useful things, removed the notepad covering the top, and reached inside. At the very bottom lay the discarded canteen left to me by my grandfather. Naturally, there was water inside. I removed the cap of the canteen, then held it out in one hand. With the other, I carefully tilted the canteen over. The cap, though small, would act as a perfect cup for a fairy to drink from. The clear water fell into the cap and quickly overflowed. It was a shame to waste any amount. However, the water had to fill the entire cap in order for the fairy to reach it. The canteen was left on the ground as I brought the cap over to the flower in question. Here, it's water. My steady hand paused upon reaching the dehydrated fairy. She looked to me with tired eyes. It's okay, you'll be fine now. That was the day I saved a fairy. Upon being asked, she was all too happy to pose for a photo. It was a grand day indeed, but the fairy had a duty to fulfill. You have done an honorable deed. In return, I shall fulfill your one desire. Having already taken the photo I longed for, I had no desire left to fulfill. The fairy wouldn't accept such a rejection. I see, then I shall give you what every person wants. What every person wants? Surely there was no such thing as a universal desire, I thought. And on that day the curse was laid upon me. Then how about this? Should your camera capture the image of a person, your soulmate shall be revealed. What? The magic was done and the fairy flew proudly. That was the day I vowed to never photograph another human. But now, I seem to have found that soulmate. Let's stay this way forever, okay? Oh, it's the texture. Look at the texture on that page. Oh, you see I don't know if you can see it on the stream, but it's so beautiful. It's one of those textured papers you do art on, and it's just so gorgeous. No intro or anything, just talk or garden, okay? What's this? Oh. Outfits. That's a lot of pink. We need some distinction. Yep, okay, that's better. That's the undershirt. Okay. Interesting. Is this save? Yeah. Oh, it's rolls of film. That's so cool. Day 1 energy 2. Okay, so it has stats based stuff too. Okay. You wanna talk? Who decided cooking broadcast should be a thing? The eating sounds drive me crazy, huh? So she has what do you call that? It's not misophonia, isn't it? I think it's misophonia, yeah. I have the same problem. Can't stand hearing chewing sound. Spoke about various things. Yeah, okay. Time to work. Get me a picture of some seagulls. Huh. Oh, interesting. So our oh god, this painting is so good. I love the fact that it's, you know, these are not straight lines. These are wobbly. It's like a watercolor. It's so gorgeous. So I guess we'll have to go to different locations and get pictures of whatever the topic is right now. What's a good place for seagull? Riverside, probably. I go on the search for some seagulls. Seagulls love water, I think. It's in the name at least. So the riverside seems like the best spot to find them. Oh, okay. We don't actually have to hunt for the pictures.
Darling.
Look what I found in the charity shop. It's a hardcover copy of Jamie and the Giant Plum. Isn't that pretty new? What's it doing in a charity shop? No idea, but I managed to grab it first. That reminds me, do you want to go see that jungle cartoon thing? The movie? Why did Jamie remind you of that? It's the same animators who did that Alice film, right? And Alice is kind of like Jamie. They're surreal, right? Never really understood those kinds of stories, really. They're interesting, I suppose, but they're hard to relate to. You think? They're grounded. But I think I relate more to Alice than the boy who lives in the jungle cat and a bear. With a jungle cat and a bear. True, Alice is pretty normal. She's just in a weird place. You get to follow the madness of the world she ends up in. But I think I prefer realistic stories. That sounds like you. I wouldn't mind reading a story where nothing happened. Nothing? Isn't that a bit too normal? Maybe. It might just be a phase. I think for now I prefer normal. It's been a while since I had that. Until we met? How'd you guess? I wonder. We spoke about various things. And fell asleep.
Darling.
Do you like it? The house, it looks so good now that it's finished, right? Furnished, right? Yeah, it's great. It's a big empty space when we got here, but now it looks small and homely. A big change. So some of the furniture looks strange. I'll have to ask her about that TV.
Darling?
You need me, right? Huh, need you? To live. Of course, what makes you ask that? Just wanted to make sure. Well, I can understand that. Sometimes I feel the same, like, why did you pick me? Am I good enough? Things like that. Then we both feel the same way. Yeah, it's strange, but I guess that's love. But why did you pick me? Yeah, I've told you already. You have? All the time. We're the same, right? Yeah, we're totally different. But look at you, long dark hair that hates uniformity, lips that curve quicker to disgust and anger than to anything else, eyes that look lost, tired, lonely, and then deep down I see a sparkle. A sparkle? What does that mean? A small little sparkle that keeps you alive in this world. Like hope? Yeah, maybe. I want to be that sparkle for you, and I want you to be that sparkle for me. Shining together just like this. So we can continue to live? So we can continue to live. Then I'll try to shine as bright as I can. The hair might get in the way though. Maybe. Thanks for living with me. Let's stay like this forever? Oh, we got a new outfit every day apparently. I love these in-between art. The texture is so fantastic. Okay, so we can ask about TV, go to the garden, or talk. What garden is about? I decided to ask about gardening. I didn't think you were interested in that kind of stuff. You're interested in it, right? So I want to know more about it. You do? Yeah. I'll be the teacher then. Okay, so she's into gardening and she's gonna teach us. Okay. It's interesting. Why is the heroine... Okay. The main... Like the POV character should be the heroine, right? Instead... her girlfriend is the heroine, so it's interesting. Unfortunately, there's not much room out here, but there's enough space for a few planties. It looks sunny out here at least, but they'll burn a lot of plants. They can burn? That seems kinda cruel. Think of it like eating chili. Right, giant UV death ray chili. Exactly. Look, this baby is me. This is baby me. She points to a small potted plant covered in red and pink flowers. Interesting. Geranium. Doesn't it look like me? Oh, you're right, it looks like your hair. But the redder ones look like... Eon? Eon? An old friend, she's all red and green. Like Euonymus? Yeah, I think that was her full name. Hey, wait, how'd you know? Oh, I meant the type of plant, Euonymus. There's a yawn plant too? Plenty. Do I get a plant then? Maybe. How about this? If you find some seeds, we'll plant them here. Then whatever grows from them will be your plant. Sounds fun. I'll keep an eye out then, maybe. The seeds will roll in fear when they hear me come. Oh no, the big scary seed grabber. But I'll bring them to a nice home, to you. We watered the plants. Time to work. Get me a picture of some ducks. Ducks, I'm guessing, will be probably at the park. If they have a water area. Definitely not downtown. Park will probably be a good place for some seeds too, so let's go there. I go on the search for some ducks. The park certainly isn't the best place to find them, but no? Why not? They shouldn't be rare. Oh, come on. Why is the park not a good place for ducks? I guess Riverside makes sense too, but parks are good too for ducks. Okay. So we do talk or sleep? Let's do talk.
Darling.
What do you think affects the dreams we have at night? The Sandman? I don't know. Where did this come from? Well, I haven't really had a nice dream in a while. How about you? Any beautiful dreams lately? I don't know, probably had some, but I'll have forgotten them. Most of my dreams are pretty normal, like normal days of life. Oh, but sometimes I dream of you. That's always nice. I used to dream of you before we moved in together, not much since. Yeah, it's the same for me. Maybe we don't dream of each other because we spend so much time together. True, if I missed you more, I might be able to dream about you more. But wait, that defeats the entire purpose. My 100% darling life will be impossible. If not dreaming about you means I get to live every day with you, then I guess I prefer that. I'll save up all my dreaminess to visit you if we're ever apart. That'd be nice, I'll do the same. We spoke about various things.
Night night.
These art are so good. Isn't this art good? Yeah, I was just admiring the art for a bit. Ask about the TV. Hey, isn't this TV weird? How do you mean? Well, look at it. You don't think it's strange? Not really, it's a normal TV. It's not right, is it? TVs aren't that thin. And they don't come with little stands like that. But it's a box with a screen. Huh? There aren't even any dials. It really is strange. Where'd you find it? Huh? Where did I find it? That's what I asked. Can't remember. There's that terrible memory again. It's a forever problem. Should really try and fix that. Memory loss isn't a normal thing. That's fine. I'm not normal anyway. Anyway, it's a color television too. Not many places around here sell those kinds. Yeah? We have to go into the city center for all the new fancy stuff. Maybe I'll ask around next time I head down there. They'll get me a present on the way. Sure, just put the money for it in our account. Eh, stingy. Huh. Yeah, it's an HD TV, but is this a time period where they're not familiar with HD TV? Is that what's going on? This is a bit of a mystery. Well, we don't have any seeds yet, so I don't know if going to the garden will make any difference. We ordered the plants, okay. Time to work, get me a picture of the museum. It should be in downtown, I think. Gonna search for a museum, but the only museum in the city is... Really? Why didn't you tell me that? Way back home, a rough hand grabs my shoulder. A camera, how long have you had it? 10 years, I think? Why? You're a catcher here in the city? Catcher? What? Come with me. The man pulls me into a shop. The inside is full of technology, some I've never even seen before. You the supplier? Huh? Guess not. You're a buyer then. On one of the many displays I spot a familiar sight. So that's where our TV came from. You bought one of those beauties? Rare model, not cheap. Not me, my girlfriend must have bought it. Yeah, she must have a keen eye for technology. I don't know about that. Tell you what, we got some great gifts here. Spot something she might like and I'll even wrap it for you. Pricey stuff though. What's her favorite color? Pink? Pink, eh? How about this laptop then? The man brings up a small portable TV thing encased in pink. Only costs 1,000. Laptop? What is it? It's a computer, a tool of convenience. Eh, that's a computer? But it's so small. Impressive, huh? It's a hundo and you can have it. How does it work? You just press the power button and it works like a typewriter. But who made it? Shouldn't they be on the news? Nah, mate, you won't see this stuff in any newspapers. Why not? Cause it don't exist yet, like the camera of yours. I knew it. I knew it. These things, like, they're getting technology from outside of the normal time period. That's why the TV was like that. What? Didn't even know. Tell you what, buy the laptop and I'll tell you. Okay, sure. Buy the laptop. Fine, I'll take it. Pass the cash and we got a deal. Bought the laptop. This stuff's all grabbed, you see, plucked from a place beyond. What kind of explanation is that? Sometimes for the lucky folk, the future appears to them, sends them stuff. So this is all future technology? Sure is, pretty magical, eh? That's it, they just appear here? That's it? Well, this laptop thing better be worth the money, cause the explanation wasn't. Nice doing business with you.
Darling.
And you go there. What are you doing? Oh, darling, looky. It's my cuddle collection. Stuffed toys. You collect them? There's quite a lot. Only 29 so far. I'll get more eventually. Are they all from something? Nope. Do they have names? Yep. Then who is this? That's Neddy the donkey. He's actually a finger puppet. Yeah, then what about this? That's Cactopy. It's a cute little cactus baby. Look at his beady eyes. They're cute. Does it come with real needles? That wouldn't be very cuddly. I guess not. And this is Hops. They're a hula hooping bunny. This one is Flake. They're a talking ice cream. And this one is Batter. It's a fishy. And this one is... We spoke about various things. No, we spoke about plushies. That's what we did.
Night night.
That's art. Day 4. Let's talk. The laptop is there, I see that. Who decided cooking? We talked about that. Alright. What kind of city is this where the museum is in the park and the ducks are in downtown? Again, museum? Fine, we'll go to the park this time. Gonna search for a museum. The only museum in the city is right here in this park. It's an interesting place, but I don't have all day. I'll just take that photo. Okay. Yeah, we were short on money because we bought that laptop. Did she get new outfits? I think she got... Oh, what's up? Full dress now. Okay.
Darling.
What I found in the charity shop. Oh, we talked about that already.
Night night.
Wow, that's different. When I came to high school, there was no option for a villager such as myself. If I was to become anyone, I'd have to move to the city. Though such a move pained me, I bid farewell to my family in pursuit of my own future. The city life brought with it new sights for me to capture, repurposed sketchers made into fences, leftover railways that served no purpose, sights that told wondrous stories, and within all those sights lived creatures of all kinds. Cute little ladybirds always caught the eye, and the purr of a cat was irresistible. However, I became most fond of the bird life. They were playful creatures, fully utilizing their freedom of movement to have fun. That is all to say, the amount of life I could photograph within the city was surprising. Dogs, pigeons, otters, crows, so much life. But not humans, never humans. Could never allow them to enter the frame. Some point I looked into the viewfinder of my camera for too long and time passed me by. Before I knew it, the world had progressed further and faster than I could have ever imagined. But I continued my passions and found a college that would let my skills flourish. I'd stay up into the night, searching for sights that no one else could capture. I found a flock of crows and planned my shot. Pitch black crow on a pitch black night. If lit correctly, such a photo would look spectacular. Put my camera down on the ground and waited for a crow to approach. What you doing? The familiar face interrupted. Eon, shh, I'm trying to get a picture of the crows, but how are you gonna get a picture of them? Very blindly butted in to the moment. With my camera, obvious. During the distraction, the crows had taken the opportunity to grab my camera and fly off. My camera, no, 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 no. Hey, you heading home yet? It's pretty late. Are you crazy? Chase after them. This is your fault. Fine, split. We made chase for the crows, I by foot and Eon by air. Couldn't let the camera go, never. I looked for it high and low, forever if I had to. If anyone else were to find that camera, the camera were to capture the image of a human, I won't allow it. I stormed off down the street. Eventually, the flock of crows separated. Each crow went in a different direction. There was no way for me to follow, not on such a pitch black night. Here, this way. A small voice acted as guidance for the chase, led me through a concrete pathways of the city. Few windows let out light that night. Out I ran into the greener square of the city. A river trickled underfoot along the side of the pavement. Into a park it led. From the park Eon yelled. I broke from paving off the streets and bundled into the bushes. There the crow would be, and there she would be. Girl in a dress surrounded by crows. If I had been granted the power of foresight, I would have surely gone in search of this photogenic scene. That was the thought that willed me as I stepped towards the site. That was the thought that willed me as I retrieved my camera from the grassy knoll it had been dropped atop. And that was the thought that willed me as I took a photo of a human. I had done it with little a care. What have I done? Enticed by the opportunity, I had doomed my own existence. To have trifled with fate, to have used such magic, this was truly a curse. The fairy looked amused, but refrained from speaking her thoughts. The mystery girl, however... Oh, was that your camera? The flock of crows dispersed as she stepped towards me. Sorry, she apologized, pressing her palms together and bowing her head ever so slightly. My cuties wanted a little play with the shiny, snappy device. You'll forgive them, right? My response fell short. Yeah. For the first time in a very long time, a human had entered my viewfinder. I hadn't spoken to another person in a very long time. I began to realize just how detached I had become from it all. To have moved away from my family, to have left everything behind without forging new relationships. I spent all my years taking pictures of the world, watching it more closely than anyone else. Yet at the moment I was overcome by a powerful sensation. A sensation that told me I hadn't been part of the world for a long time. and I realized I had forgotten how to be human. It's the same color schemes. Red, black, and pink. No, pink, white, and black. Time to work. Get me a picture of some bees. Don't tell me bees are in downtown, because that... I don't understand this city. Okay, I'm gonna assume bees are in the park like any normal persons, and I'm gonna go there. Go on the search for some bees. It's a weird request, but I figure I can do this right. Where there are flowers, there are bees. Okay, that was the right decision.
Night night.
Day 6.
Darling.
A TV program? What is this? A dancing show, look at her. Now she's pretty good at it. I wish I could dance like that. I don't think I've ever seen you dance. I'm not good at it, but you hum a lot. You heard that all the time. It's cute. I'm a musically girl. But you can't dance? We can practice together sometime. You can? Really? I know a bit. Really? Is that surprising? You don't look like a dancer. I'm not, but my mom was. She taught you? A bit. So cool. We got some... What do they call those? Oh my god. I can't believe I forgot this word. Oh my god, how do I not know this word? Is it a garter belt or something? Can't remember. Yeah, this sucks. Alright, time to work. Get me a picture of some bees again. Alright. Park.
Darling.
I think we talked about dreams already.
Night night.
How does this energy go up? Time to work. Get me pictures of some boats. Okay, that makes sense. That'll be in the riverside. I go on the search for some boats. They have plenty of boats here. There's some sort of tourist attraction, I think. 225. So we don't need to buy groceries or anything. We only buy presents with the money we get. It's interesting.
Darling.
13 what? Oh, pillows. Yeah, how do you even lay on those? You don't, they're decorative. We don't have the space for decorations. Fine, I'll buy some tomorrow. Pillows.
Night night.
Gonna buy some pillows.
Hmm?
A deck of cards. Wanna play fish? Fish, what's that? It's the best card game. You think? You don't like fish? Yeah, I don't hate it. But it's not the first game that comes to mind. And what should we play? Poker? We'd just be playing heads up. You'd lose anyway. As if. Old maid then? Oh wow, I haven't played that one in ages. What kind of card games do you like then? It's kind of awkward to talk about. What do you mean? It's shithead. What kind of game is that? It's a good one. You actually the rules are kind of complicated. Will you teach me? Of course. I'll be winning in no time. Spoke about various things. Time to work, get me a picture of the river. Let's see, river. Is that in downtown or the park? Or maybe the riverside has a river. Getting more obvious now. Like, aside from the museum, that museum didn't make any sense. And the ducks. Like, why aren't there ducks at the park? I go and search for a river. It's not much of a search though. There's a river right here.
Darling.
You're in a good mood tonight. Did something happen? It's a starry night tonight. Just that? Just that. That's enough to make you happy? Stars are like ascended cute girls looking down at us. What kind of theory is that? A cute one. Okay.
Night night.
Get me a picture of some ducks. Okay, fine. We're gonna go to the riverside now. I go on the search for some ducks. It makes sense to look for them near the river. That's where they live. Got a lot of money now. 325 pounds.
Darling. Night night.
Oh, those are pretty hearts, Shell Smiley. So beautiful. Took a while for me to truly understand what that important day had brought, but a certain photo acted as a permanent reminder. The Crow Girl. As I lived my normal days, the Crow Girl seemed to show up a lot. Oh, you're seriously a photographer? In this instance, I was sorting through a pile of photos to include in an album. She had approached me to see what I was looking at. She looked over the images in my hand, tried my best to avoid looking back at her. You never take pictures of people. Her face pushed into sight, her bright blue eyes locked with mine. I could only describe her expression as mysterious. In response to her question, I gave an awkwardly rigid nod. Such a serious nod. I'm just kidding. Of course you don't take pictures of them. Those people are disgusting, right? Uncertain of how to even communicate, I could only respond with whispers. Right. My mind kept telling me to ask the question, just who is this girl? But every time we met, she very much took control of the conversation. This was a very one-sided series of meetings. Another such meeting came as I was organizing my college project. We had to present our best photos in an arrangement. I had understandably decided to use the picture of the Crow Girl as the centerpiece. To my surprise, as I worked away in the college library, deciding my final composition, she appeared. Oh, I thought you didn't take pictures of people. She stole a glance at the faded photograph. I'm just kidding. You can take pictures of me, you know. The Crow Girl patted me on the back rather hard. Not exactly a person, am I? He struck me with an intriguing statement. Of course, I was confused. So a confused look for, huh? Her finger landed on her chin and she vocalized a hum of thought. Okay, I think of it like this. Either I'm not a person or you're interested in me. Eh? No doubt I was blushing at that prospect. Such an innocent reaction, so cute. Once again, I received a pat on the back. We already know that both of those things are true, right? The girl winked at me, then skipped off without another word. If I wasn't interested in her before, that day would have certainly made me. It's probably a fairy. They never watch TV. Well, they do, but they don't talk about it. It's almost like, you know, like the TV's there for decoration. Oh, those are nice. Yeah. God, what is this thing called? I can't remember. Oh. I crave something. Like what? An ice lolly. I thought you were an adult. There's no such thing as an adult. No. I so agree with it. We relate to that a lot. There's no such thing as an adult. Just don't get distracted by the comic books. I wouldn't get distracted from food. I also relate to that. What kind of ice lolly do you want? I like the rocket ones. They're all a bit too sweet for me. More of a 99 person? I guess. I don't usually buy that stuff. I'm becoming old. They're okay for beach trips and fun events. Ooh, a beach trip. Good idea. Is there even a beach around here? We aren't exactly near the coast. There'll be one somewhere. We can search around. Where'd you find out about that stuff anyway? Do we just go around asking people where the nearest beach is? Might have some local maps for sale. That's a bit touristy. You can treat it like a holiday. That'd be nice. Spoke about various things. Time to work. Get me a picture of the museum, which is in the park apparently. Why is the museum in the park? So I guess this game just cycles over this story, this daily routine, and eventually every few days you get a glimpse of the flashback of how they met and what happened. And I'm sure like some intriguing stuff I'm sure will come out of that, because clearly there's something going on that's out of the ordinary. Like how like there's technology existing here that's not from this time, and then there's fantasy elements of fairies. Yeah, so intriguing. I'm gonna stop here though because I don't want to give away all the spoilers. So we're going to just get out of here, read a bit more about the game, and then we'll switch games after. Okay, so that was By Your Side by Takafumi. It was a short simulation game made by one person in 1 month. Oh wow, that's really cool. Take control of the unnamed protagonist as she moves into an apartment with her girlfriend. Unlock new clothing, discover new scenes, learn more about this mysterious couple, and most importantly, enjoy life. It's a really cool chill game that they've created. It's $3 right now. Pretty good price, I think, for something like this. And there's a lot of chat about it here, apparently. So if anyone wants to check it out, this one is you can get it at takafumi.itch.io.